Hello everybody, you know it's Thursday, you know what time it is. It's time for Eddie versus the algorithm here on the Fantasy Football Fix YouTube channel. Apologies once again about the technical difficulties with a bit of the shocking frame rate that you're seeing right now. But yeah, I'm hoping I'll be able to get some software installed and all that fixed for next week's videos at the very minimum. So yeah, sorry about that once more. Let's get into having a look at the computer-generated team for Game Week 18. But before that, just a little quick recap as to how things went down just one game week prior in Game Week 17. And the algorithm scored 53 points, which definitely wasn't the best score that I saw from last game week, but equally probably wasn't the worst score overall. The main points coming from Trent Alexander-Arnold in defence, Thiago Silva also coming through with 8 points. Nicholas Jackson was a nice decent shout as well. I actually used Solanke's 6 points as I made these files kind of yesterday and these graphics when he did have those 6 points, but since my team and the algorithm both had Solanke, it was pretty much irrelevant who went for what points anyway in the end of it, because Salah was the captain in both sides as well. So yeah, 53 points for the algorithm side. It was 10-6 before last game week, with all the weeks that I've missed counting it as forfeits, and now it is 11-6 because I scored 55 points in game week 17. Of course, if you take the 6 points off, that would be 49 without Solanke's points. Overall, yeah, a little bit disappointed, to be honest. Pickford, Trent, Porro, very similar players delivering. Ollie Watkins is 9 points, but a very, very highly owned player, so can't really take too much credit. The positions where I did choose to go a bit different, Tavernier, Luis Diaz in midfield, Kyle Walker, didn't really end up paying off, truth be told. And even the players on my bench, such as Sterling and Colwell, ended up doing better than the ones in my starting 11. So despite not being very happy with my performance and my free hit team selection in last game week, did still manage to come away with a scrappy victory. But let's get straight into what you guys are all here for, and that is, of course, the Game Week 18 best free hit team, courtesy of the computer and the Fantasy Football Fix algorithm. Let's get into having a look at how the team is shaping up. And of course, if you're watching this on Thursday, which hopefully you are because the FPL deadline is today for Game Week 18, then make sure, of course, that you are aware that the deadline is tonight and do not miss it, because I think we've all been a little bit prone to missing 1 or 2 FPL deadlines in our course of playing the game, at least. I think I've probably missed about 5, maybe even more. But yeah, let's have a look at the algorithm team that is, of course, going to be locked in by this evening. Quick one final reminder, we'll get another one before the end of the video. In goal, it's going to be Martinez, who I really like as a great shout. Villa have some tremendous home form when it comes to keeping clean sheets, even against Arsenal and Manchester City. And they've got Sheffield United, who have some of the worst away form in the league. I think they've only scored 4 away goals or something ridiculous so far this season. So Martinez looks like a very, really solid pick. And of course, if you're on a free hit, then Aston Villa defensive options look a very, very nice way to go for this game week. In defence, we're going to see Trent Alexander-Arnold, despite Liverpool's pretty tough fixture against Arsenal. Quite a big game in what was shaping up to be maybe like a 5-team title race at this point. So Trent, of course, still in here, mainly for his attack and return in this one, you'd imagine. But then got Robertson of Fulham against Burnley at home. A nice fixture for Fulham, that one. I could see a clean sheet in it for them as well. And then finally, we've got Kieran Trippier, who has been struggling a bit as of late. Newcastle are away at Luton Town, and to be honest, I don't know whether it's more a gut feeling, but I could see Luton grabbing a goal in that one, to be honest. I don't feel overly confident with Lascelles in my team personally at the moment, and I'm not confident enough really to bring in Trippier over the likes of someone like a Porro this week, which I'm considering in my own team. If you wanted to watch what my thoughts are with my transfers this week, I have got a wildcard coming up. You can check all that out in yesterday's video that we did with my team reveal. But yeah, Trippier's predicted 4.8 points, still the highest of the bunch out of this back 3. Of course, you still kind of have to back. He's on the set pieces. I imagine he's a player who's experienced enough to try and not let this kind of poor slip in form get him down. But overall, I do believe in a confidence as a thing. Even more experienced players will, of course, be affected by it. And with the mistakes that he's made recently, captivated by the one in the midweek against Chelsea with giving away the goal for the Mudryk one, and then also missing a penalty, I think it will weigh on him. And I don't know whether he'll be quite the asset that we've seen at previous times, but he could well prove me wrong and come back and get an assist and a clean sheet in this game against Luton. You never know, maybe even more. Trippier has been known to do it and deliver some pretty ridiculous points haul, so you'd be hard pushed to say he's not going to deliver against Luton Town. In midfield is where we're going to see Mohamed Salah taking the vice-captain's armband only this week. We've then got some more surprising picks in here. Andreas, Almiron and Douglas Luiz, I should say, are those ones. Douglas Luiz, who I believe I saw yesterday on Twitch, giving away some early team news about Aston Villa. If you hadn't caught yourself up on that, it was mainly the news, I think, that Pau Torres won't be available for this weekend. And as someone with Matty Cash in my own personal side, that's probably good news with regards to him maybe being in with higher chances of getting a start. But yeah, Douglas Luiz himself makes it into this algorithm team. Personally not sold with him based on his attacking form, but he is predicted 6.0 points by the Fantasy Football Fix algorithm, which is interesting. Only Son on 6.1 as Spurs take on Everton at home, and Salah, as mentioned, can score higher in terms of predictions in the midfield. It's then quite a drop-off to Almiron on 4.4, again, of course, with that away fixture against Luton. And then Andreas, who could be on penalties now, if I'm not mistaken, for Fulham in this game against Burnley with Jimenez out. I'm not totally sure on who does take the penalties at Fulham, but could be an interesting one there. Andreas, a real hero of FPL last season. Maybe he can come back to do some damage against my team and overall earn the algorithm a victory in game week 18. And then finally, up front, we'll take a look at the two forwards. It's going to be Ollie Watkins, who predictably takes the captain's armband. And then finally, Dom Solanke, Nottingham Forest away. A chance for some redemption and maybe to reward his owners who had to sit through his points getting wiped out recently in game week 17. Maybe he'll come back and score another brace against Nottingham Forest would be nice. Or just even one goal will do for my team personally. I don't think that's the easiest fixture in the world. Forest are now, with Nuno Espirito Santo, so a change in manager. I don't think that's gone down very well with the Nottingham Forest fan base. I think they really like Steve Cooper. Maybe that will play into how the home atmosphere is. Maybe Bournemouth can take a little bit advantage of that. Or maybe I'm just reading far too much into it. But I like the look of Solanke for this game week as well, is what I'm trying to say, basically. And then finally, on the bench, we're going to have a look at Leno, Pedro Porro, Darwin Núñez, and Botman. So there were some serious funds that could go into these assets. So Porro, one I really like. Darwin Núñez, not so much. I think he got 90 minutes in the game yesterday as Liverpool took on West Ham in the League Cup. And then Botman, who is back from injury now. Fabian Schär looks out, so presumably it will be Botman and Lascelles who start at centre-back this weekend as Newcastle do take on Luton. And then Leno, Burnley at home. Again, a very nice option for a clean sheet this week. And in fact, I've chosen to go with Leno myself, and that leads me on nicely to my team. The algorithm was predicted, 61 points, 56 only predicted for me. I have gone with Leno only because I kind of wanted to cover a few extra defences, and I've gone with Alex Moreno in defence. He's only predicted 1.2 points. I think the kind of algorithm predicted teams have Digne in line for a start. So Alex Moreno is down only on 1.2, which is going to drag my predicted points total down quite a bit. But I think that Alex Moreno should start. I think that he probably will start. I'm taking a little bit of a gamble on it, but when he does play, his attacking threat is immense. We saw that with an assist in his first game back. So I've gone with him. Gone with Trippier as well, as I mentioned, just kind of have to back him. And then Pedro Porro on 4.2. I couldn't really justify going for Botman or even Lascelles over Trippier when I had the funds to go with the man who is on set pieces, etc. In midfield, I have also gone for a few little punts. I've got Salah and Son still in my team, but I've gone with Richarlison, Morgan Gibbs-White, and then Mohamed Kudus, who did play in that game against Liverpool yesterday, so might be a little bit fatigued, but I think that West Ham might do quite well in this game against Manchester United, and I wanted him in with the form he's been in as of late, and just how he looks on the eye test. I really think Kudus could be a great pick over the next couple of game weeks before he goes away to AFCON, so do bear that in mind if you're thinking about transferring him in. We've then got Morgan Gibbs-White, as mentioned, Nottingham Forest with the new change of manager. Maybe not the time to jump on too many assets. I've got Turner in goal for Forest, who I'm not really feeling too confident about, but I like the look of Gibbs-White in this game week. 3.3 predicted points for him. Again, a little bit of a punt. Richarlison maybe a little bit less so. I think he's becoming more a popular option now, playing up front for Spurs. He has grabbed a few goals as of late as well, and he does seem one of those players who thrives on confidence. So quite happy having him in my team. And then I've gone with the same strike partnership. On the bench, I've gone with Petrovic, Vinicius of Fulham with Jimenez out, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and then Taylor. So I had some decent funds left over as well, as you can see. Enough to just stick Trent on the bench for the fun of it, really. But yeah, that's going to wrap up the Eddie versus the algorithm teams for Game Week 18. Let me know down below in the comments whose team you think is going to come out on top for this game week. If you've got any last minute dilemmas with your own team, then feel free to leave those down below in the comments as well. And if you want to check out any drastic last minute changes to the algorithm team, or equally predicted points totals for your own side and different players you're considering transferring in or out, then you can do so via Fantasy Football Fix. The links to the website is down below in the description, where there's some great offers on at the moment. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Goodbye.